Hi everyone, this is Neha Bhalla, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and today I want to discuss with you about the Canada study visa and the latest interview trends that is happening these days with students. So many of the students I have seen that they have got the interview requests after they applied for the Canada study visa, which generally didn't happen in the past, but now as per the recent trends they have started sending interview calls to few students. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about this thing. If you're worried about the complete interview process, how it happens, because we have got feedback from certain students, so we know now about the type of questions they are asking and whether this is a thing to be scared of or not, and how is the interview process, and certain tips for you to be prepared, well prepared in advance for it. Welcome back to my channel. So this is Neha Bhalla. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and our company Sans Global Immigration offers you all kinds of immigration services like application for permanent residency and different applications like visitor visas, spousal visas, work permit applications, citizenship applications. So if you have any doubts or queries, we also do take consultations on one-to-one basis. So if you want to book a consultation or want to avail any of our services, you can also contact us at the below given number. You can WhatsApp us and we'll definitely try to get back to you as soon as possible. So now, without wasting any time, let's continue with our today's video, that is about the study visa and the recent trending interviews from the IRCC. Yes, one more thing before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe my channel, as we talk a lot about Canadian immigration and related topics. So if you want to stay updated about this, you can subscribe my channel and like my video. So now let's begin with our video. First thing that we are going to discuss is that who all are getting these interview calls. Is there any specific criteria, like which students, which category of students are getting the interview call? So as far as I have seen and talked to different students, any category of students, any category of applications can get this interview call. There is no specific category. I've seen files with different backgrounds, like maybe a refusal case files also. You can say gap files also, students with like 8 to 10 gap years, and also the fresh files also, they are also getting interview calls. So it is not depending on the category, like only refusal cases are getting interviews or only gap year cases are getting, but fresh file students they are also getting interview calls. So there is no specific category who are getting the interview calls. It can be from any category. But one thing in general is that they are generally sending interviews to those candidates on whose files they may suspect that something is missing, or something they suspect that might be misrepresented, or maybe they want some more clarity on information which is not present in their SOP or documents. So in this cases, generally they are sending interviews. So coming to the next part, that is, now let's discuss about the process of interview. How is this complete process happening? So first of all, what will happen is that there will be an update on your GCK account. So you will see an update by the name of event schedule on your portal. So you have to log into your portal, and then you can see this thing that there is an event schedule option. Similarly, you get like biometric requests. So similarly, there will be a event schedule request. So from there you have to click it and you have to download the letter. So that letter will tell you all the details about your interview. So it will be a general letter containing your name and UCI, all the general details which occurs in all the letters. So it will tell you the time of your interview, the date of your interview, the venue of your interview. Yes, the interview will be in person. Similarly, the kind of you go for your IELTS speaking test, so it will be that kind of an interview. This letter will also mention you about the documents. So there are certain documents that you will need to carry with you to the interview. So these should be in a hard copy format, not a soft copy. So you have to carry the hard copy of all these documents which are requested in this letter. So generally the documents requested in the letter goes about, they request you the passport. You have to carry your original passport, then your education degrees, whatever you submitted at the time of study visa application, you have to carry a hard copy of those degrees also. Then your letter of acceptance from the college, you have to carry a copy of that. Your proof of fund documents, whatever you submitted, there should be same. Your language test results you have to carry. Then your SOP which you submitted with your study visa, and any other information, any letter of explanation maybe, or any other document you submitted while applying for your study visa, you have to carry those documents along with you. So this will be a recorded interview, and they may check the hard copy documents which you are carrying with you. So they can check any of these documents and can counter question about any of the documents. And also this interview runs from anywhere from, it can be like 10 minutes also, and it ran for like 30 minutes also for a few of the candidates. So it should be between 10 to 30 minutes, and you should be well prepared in advance if it runs for a longer time. So next, coming to the questions, the kind of questions they are asking in this interview for your study visa. First, they can ask you to give a general intro of yourself. So this kind of question is basically to make you more comfortable and less nervous. So you should be like feeling less nervous and more confident during the interview. So they can also ask you about your immigration history. Like, is this the first time you are applying for a study visa, or is this the first time you are applying for any kind of immigration application to Canada? Or have you got a previous refusal? So you should be honest in these answers, because they have all your previous immigration history there with them. So it is better and advisable to be always honest in your application also, and during the interview also. Then they can ask you about why did you choose Canada and not any other college in your home country, right? So you need to mention the reasons, specific reasons, why did you choose Canada and not your home country. And this should also be present in your SOP. So definitely thoroughly read your SOP before going for the interview. Next, they can also ask you about why did you choose a particular college, or why did you choose a particular course. So you should have those answers ready in your mind. And these, like as I told you earlier also, these should be present in your SOP. So these answers, what you are saying right now to the interview, should match what you stated in your SOP. So that is why it is important to thoroughly read your SOP. And in fact, you should prepare your SOP yourselves. That's why I say that even if you go through the consultants applying your study visa, you should be well aware what is going on with your application, what all documents are there in your application, because now when there is an interview, this will help, that you should know completely about your application, what all is being submitted by your consultant. Then there could be questions regarding your intake also, like when is your intake, when is your program starting, when it is the start date, when is the end date, and what's the duration. So there could also be question about your language test. Then there could be questions about the proof of funds, like who is paying for your studies in Canada. So if you have taken an education loan, do mention about that. If your parents are supporting you, do mention about that. But again, it should match what you submitted in your application. What kind of fund documents have you submitted in your application? It should obviously match that. Otherwise, it will be a case of misrepresentation. Other questions could be related to any family or friends you have in Canada. And it could also be about accommodation in Canada, like what are your plans? Where would you be living in Canada? What have you thought about the accommodation? So now the last part of the video is very important tips for this interview. So first important tip is regarding to your financial conditions. So questions related to your financial conditions, related to your proof of funds, these are decisive and very important questions. So you should answer them with confidence. And also whatever you are saying, it should match what is submitted in your study visa application. So make sure that your consultant with whom you file your study visa application did not submitted any fake documents. Otherwise, that will make a very negative impact on your application, and it could get declined due to misrepresentation. So misrepresentation means not only a decline but also a 5-year ban for the next application. The second most important tip is regarding your language test. So your language test should be original. Please don't use the fake IELTS or PTE exam test. So you know what happens in interview is, suppose you have scored very good marks in your language test, suppose very good in your speaking section, and now at the time of interview you are not able to communicate with the interviewers properly, right? So obviously they will understand, okay, how this candidate scored so much good in a speaking section, whereas he or she is not able to properly speak to us during the interview. So this will have a very negative impact on your application. Third important tip is be confident, don't feel nervous. Fourth important tip is regarding your SOP. Be thorough with your SOP. Whatever you submitted in your SOP, stick to those things and thoroughly read your SOP, and whatever you say should match your SOP. The fifth tip is to polish your speaking skills beforehand. Be attentive and listen to the questions first, whatever the interviewer is saying. Take time to understand the question and then answer. So now the most important and the last bonus tip of the video. So they may ask you a question about have you hired a consultant to file your application, or did you file your application yourself? So now here the answer is very, very important and it decides the fate of your application. So if you answer that your application is filed through a consultant, then your consultant should be a regulated Canadian immigration consultant or a Canadian lawyer, right, who are authorized to file your application. And if your consultant is not a legal licensed consultant, he did not submitted any details about himself being representing your application. So in such scenario, it is showed by the illegal consultants that you are submitting the application on your own and there is no consultant. So in this case, you admit that there is a consultant, but in actual your consultant did not show that there is a consultant. So this is a very big representation on your file and could lead to the decline of the file. So it is very, very important to make sure that whenever you hire a consultant, the consultant is a legal authorized consultant of IRCC. And yes, if you have yourself filed your application without any consultant, you can simply say that you filed your application on your own. I really hope that this video helped you and made you aware about the ongoing interview trends now in study visa applications, and now it also made you well prepared also in advance if any interview calls comes to you. So guys, don't get panicked, be confident, and all the best for your interviews. Also, our firm SANS Global Immigration helps you with the complete process starting from admissions for any of the study programs in Canada to till the time of study visa application. If you want to start your process with us, you can definitely WhatsApp us on the below number, and we will definitely get back to you as soon as possible for us. And yes, so if our video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like the video and please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.